Chapter 13, The Forgotten City. Irindra held the Whisper Stone tightly, its runes pulsing with faint residual mana. Though the image of Awaken had faded, his voice still lingered, threading through the silent clearing like a shadowed whisper. The Avatar has risen once more, and when the heart opens, I will be waiting. Aros sat hunched on a moss-covered stone, eyes distant, his fingers curling into his tunic as if seeking something solid. Dolo stood beside him, a firm hand on the boy's shoulder, grounding him. Mako had taken a few paces back, absently running his thumb along the edge of his axe, his jaw clenched and unclenched in an uneasy rhythm. He had felt something in that vision, not just a memory, but a presence. The same presence he had sensed since the crater, the same voice that had whispered his name in the dark. Kaelin, arms folded, leaned against the crumbling remains of a fallen pillar, watching the others in silence. Her staff rested across her lap, fingers drumming idly against the wood. "We don't have time to sit here and sulk over cryptic warnings," she said. "We need to move." Pip, sprawled belly down on a mossy log, let out a theatrical sigh. "So, just to be clear, we all heard that terrifying shadow guy say he'd be waiting, right?" She waggled a paw in Aros's direction. "For him, the glowing tree boy. And I'm not judging Aros, really. If some ancient evil was following me through mana-infused forests, I'd probably burrow underground and declare myself a mushroom." Aros exhaled weakly. "Mushrooms don't talk. They would if they were me." Pip grinned. Fenix groaned, rubbing his temple. "Pip, we're trying to process an existential threat." "Oh, existential. Big word, Fen. Who taught you that? A book?" "I read things," Fenix muttered. "Is that what you do when you're supposed to be on watch?" Pip teased. "Don't test me, furball." Dolo rolled his eyes at their exchange, but the easy banter was a welcome reprieve. Even Eros straightened a little. Waya tapped her staff against the cracked earth. "The Whisper Stone showed us the past, but it also revealed the enemy's intent. Vorokan seeks the heart of mana, and he knows Aros is connected to it." Irindra traced her thumb across the stone's surface. "The heart was hidden long ago after the cataclysm. It's said only the Avatar of mana can find it." She glanced at Aros. "Which means we have no time to waste." Aros bit his lip. "I don't even know what I'm supposed to do." "You will," Waya assured him. "Mana will guide you when the time comes." Mako scoffed. "Great. We're betting everything on instincts and hope." "Got a better idea?" Dolo asked. Mako's grip on his axe tightened, but he said nothing. Kaelin adjusted her stance, shifting the weight of her staff. "Standing here won't change anything. If this Everwood glade is as sacred as the legends claim, then we need to reach it before nightfall." The group gathered their things and left the ruins of Everethil behind. The deeper they traveled into the forest, the heavier the air became. The path narrowed into a winding trail, flanked by twisted trees with gnarled roots that clawed at the earth like skeletal fingers. Damp leaves clung to their boots. The mana felt different here, tense, as if the land itself was holding its breath. Pip skipped ahead, occasionally prodding mushrooms with her daggers. A particularly stubborn fungus squished under her boot. "You know," she said, glancing back, "I've been thinking—" Fenix sighed. "Oh no. Rude. But anyway, why not just go straight to this Vorokan guy and tell him to buzz off?" Mako let out a short laugh. "Yeah, that'll work. Excuse me, terrifying ancient shadow warlock. Could you kindly stop hunting our glowing child? I'm sure he'll respect that." "Hey, no harm in asking." Pip shrugged. "Diplomacy. Very civilized." "Vorokan doesn't do diplomacy," Irindra said. "He manipulates. He corrupts. He was once one of us, a leaf dancer elder who guarded the world tree, until he discovered shadow alchemy. What did he want? Dolo asked. Irindra's jaw tightened. Power. He believed the tribe should control mana, shape it as they saw fit. He created artifacts to manipulate it unnaturally. Like the shadow crystals at the crater, Mako muttered. Exactly, Irindra said. Oros shivered. Why does he want the heart? Waya's voice was grim. Because the heart of mana anchors the world's elemental flow. With it, he could twist the balance entirely in his favor. Okay, Pip said. Definitely not knocking on his door, then. The weight of their situation pressed down on them once more. Night fell quickly, the last slivers of sunlight swallowed by the dense canopy. The group made camp beneath the ancient oaks, where the roots created natural alcoves. Waya sat with Aros near the fire, the mana shard hanging from her neck, pulsing in rhythm with the boy's breath. Dolo watched the flames flicker. Across from him, Mako sat with arms folded. Phoenix cleaned his daggers. Pip idly drew stick figures in the dirt. You were quiet today, Dolo said to Mako. Was I? Yeah. Mako poked at the fire with a stick. Just thinking. About? How we're all probably walking into a trap. Dolo arched a brow. That all? Mako shifted uncomfortably. The shadow mana. It's different here, stronger. When I try to pull earth mana, it's like dragging it through muck. The mana's waking everywhere, Dolo said. We feel it too. Mako didn't respond. Nearby, Pip crouched beside Eros. Hey, kid, you okay? Eros shook his head. I feel everything. The roots, the wind, the land. It's like the forest is watching us. Yeah, I get that, Pip said. I can totally tell when Fen's about to yell at me. It's a gift. Aros smiled faintly. It's louder tonight. Pip's ears twitched. If you start seeing glowing eyes in the trees, please warn me. I scare easy. Oros glanced beyond the fire, eyes narrowing. They're whispering something. The flames flickered low. The air grew colder. Mist curled through the trees, coiling along the ground like pale serpents. Dolo stiffened. The wind had changed. Something's coming, he said. The others shot to their feet. Mako gripped his axe. Irindra strung an arrow. Pip twirled her daggers. The mist thickened into a wall of gray. Tall, cloaked figures emerged, their carved stone masks gleaming in the firelight. Their eyes glowed violet. Shadowborn. The lead figure stepped forward. The avatar travels with fragile guardians, it rasped. Surrender the child, and perhaps you will live. Mako bared his teeth. Yeah, come take him. The Shadowborn did not move. They simply watched. They're waiting, Kalen murmured, eyes narrowing. Dolo tightened his grip on his spear. The wind whispered in his ear. He didn't understand its words. Not yet. The lead Shadowborn tilted its head toward Aros. The heart remembers you, little seedling, it said. The world bends when you breathe, but the shadow does not forget. And then, like smoke in the wind, the figures were gone.